want to tell you about a time that I got stalked so hard by a client that his nan had to get involved. And the police, which you will understand in just a memento. I'm a life coach, I know, shock. Considering I took twat summer to the extreme for 20 years. However, we digress. But this is why I no longer do face-to-face appointments. Because you give a bitch an inch and they take a mile and you dustbin. I will admit this client was a little bit on the abnormal side. Who am I to judge? I used to shit in the wilderness and call it an offering to the gods. And genuinely believe that LSD gave me superpowers. Why take everybody as they come? Warts and all. Do to others as you would like done to yourself. And if I was as weird as this cunt, I would like blocking. And perhaps sectioning. Anyway, I've digressed again. I had about 4 sessions with this guy. He wanted to improve his business, he wanted to improve his life. He'd gone through a horrible time with his ex. So he'd ended up living at his nan's. Booked a holiday with my son, I was taking 2 weeks off. Please bear in mind, this was in another country. But obviously, I had an abroad dial tone. He left me several voicemails, asked me why I'd blocked him. I'd get home, speak to him, tell him I don't think that was appropriate. He's like, all right, do you want to go for a drink? I'm like, no, I don't date clients. He gets offended. He's like, no, I didn't mean as a date, I meant as a friend. So I'm like, even so, no. Weeks passed, thought nothing of it. There's an automated email that gets sent out to say, rate your coaching. He sent back the most disgusting email. It actually took me aback, so I reached out and I was like, hi, wish you'd have told me how you felt about your coaching. I could have amended it to be better for you. I really don't appreciate the email. That isn't constructive criticism, that is abuse. He didn't reply, and a few weeks later, one of my neighbours, bearing in mind I was living in a block of flats, came to me after I got home from taking my son to the doctors and said to me, did you manage to get in touch with your boyfriend? I said, what do you mean? Because I did not have a boyfriend. Said he was here earlier saying that he'd been kicked out of his nan's and didn't have anywhere else to go. At this point, I was actually quite scared because he was the first person that came to mind. So I messaged him and I said, have you turned up to my house? He denied it, so I lied and said there was CCTV in the building, and then he admitted it. I told him very bluntly, do not come near my home again. And he did. He got absolutely smashed and turned up at my house at 2 in the morning. I was in a bottom floor flat and my front of my flat was windows. 2 in the morning, he's twatting on my window, he's in a right state. After about 45 minutes of not letting him in, it started raining and he rang his nan. I'd already rang the police at this point. I was like, what the fuck? Police turn up, they're like, where is he? He'd pulled my dustbin from outside my flat, down the road, got in it and hid in it. I only found him because he toppled the fucking bin over trying to answer the phone to his poor nana. After the police had taken him away, I had a little sit down with his nan. The poor bugger was freezing cold. She'd been stood in the rain trying to calm him down. She knew who I was, I just didn't know who she was. And even his ex-girlfriend knew who I was and thought we'd been dating. It all got sorted, he never got in touch again. This is why now all of my appointments are over the fucking phone.